Alright, gonna see if the my transmission build works. I put 8 quarts of fluid in it, and I tried to start it during break, and the battery was dead. So hopefully now 12.7, good deal. Yeah, so hopefully now it'll start up. I'll get some heat in it, and we'll see what the fluid level is, and then we'll try to run it through the gears, see what happens. Alright, it started right up. Get some heat in it, get some fluid flowing, and we'll check to see where it's at on the stick. Sounds good. Look at that, I let that E85 set all winter. And it's higher now than it was when I parked the car. 85%. Alright, it ain't got no heat in it, but let's see if it moves anyway. Oh, I felt it kick. Look at there, it works. Try drive. It works. It works. I don't know if it'll go through the gears or not. I'm gonna let it warm up, check the fluid level, and then fluid level's good, we'll take it for a drive. It ain't warmed all the way up, but I checked the fluid and it's barely reading on the stick, so I'm gonna put 2 more quarts in it. Alright, there we go, we're right on full. It's actually a little low. That'll be fine. I turned it around, so after work, I gotta work on the tune a little bit, but after work, we'll pull it out the gate, drive it around, see how it does after we get the tune changed. Yeah, so far so good. Alright, if you guys can see, the car's turned back around in the driveway. James Short tuned this thing, and I went in there. He did an awesome job, by the way. Really great tuner. If y'all ever 24X one of these cars, I mean, he can tune it. You can put it on flex fuel if you install the sensor and everything. But anyway, getting sidetracked. Man, this thing, I mean, I don't know. This turbo, that stall and that turbo 400 is ridiculous. All I did was go into the tune and change it to manual. I went in to look at things online, like turning off all the codes that would pop for the transmission. And James knew that I was going to put a turbo 400 in this, and he already had that set. And then you know, you go into the torque management abuse mode and set that, you know, to a high RPM. He already had that set. So all I did was change it to manual and loaded the tune up, and the vehicle speed sensor ain't hooked up yet. I'm gonna hook that up to the front driver, and I'm gonna do some calculations. So the speedometer's not working, but man, I took off in first gear, and that thing, it just lit them up. So I figured, let's go to second and nail it again. It jumped completely sideways on me. So I went to third and said, let's try it again. It jumped sideways on me again. And it's got drag, it's got the Radial Pro 275/60s on it, and it's a warm day. The sun just went down. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened, but this thing seems like maybe it's that torque converter, maybe it's the closer gear ratios, maybe just a fresh, you know, turbo 400. But this thing, it seems like it's got way more power, way more power. But it went through the gears, it drove just fine. I haven't used the trans brake yet. It's not even hooked up. I need to get a relay and a 2-step before we can even attempt to use the trans brake. But yeah, I think I might go to the first test and tune here at Kentucky Dragway, which is just about a half mile that way, by the way, is this weekend. I think I'm going to take it over there and see what it does. But yeah, I'll get some videos of wiring up the two-step with the trans brake and the nitrous. And yeah, and if I go to the track Saturday, not 100% sure if I'm going to go or not, but if I go, I'll definitely make some videos of that, see if it slowed it down or made it faster. Now, the 4L60E has a low first gear, which gets you out of the hole better than a turbo 400, but the second shift drops your RPM really bad. So the turbo 400 keeps you in that RPM range a little bit better, and this is a better stall for me. That Yank 3600 one, I don't even think was really a 3600. I think they sent me the wrong one or something. It just didn't flash hot enough. And this is a 4000 stall, and it was brake stalling in the gravel at 2,500 RPM. So I'm gonna be able to stall it up better. It's gonna flash higher, and it's gonna give me a better 60. The turbo 400 weighs a little bit more, but I think it's got less rotational mass than a 4L60E with that overdrive stuff in there. From, you know, building both transmissions, I think the rotational mass is less in the turbo 400. But anyway, we'll we'll see what it does at the track Saturday, hopefully, if I go, and see what the actual difference is. Because if I go, I am going to be foot braking it until I get a two-step. I got to save up some money for a two-step, and I'd like to get a shift light too, and I'd like to get an actual shifter. But honestly, that shifter shifted just fine. I mean, I didn't have no problems at all. Went first to second. I hit 7 grand. I pushed the button, barely pulled it back. It went into second gear, and then from second to third, you just pull it. The only problem is getting overexcited and going straight from first to third. But yeah, there we go. My turbo 400 build works awesome. The only thing left to check is test the trans brake. But yeah, like and subscribe. We'll get y'all some more videos.